words to Brendan and the family. First off, Barbara and I are really honored and pleased you asked. This is a first for us, so we're kind of excited about it. And I guess the whole family is here as usual. Mostly for you. Today, Brendan is about to take the oath of office to become an officer in the greatest military establishment man has ever known. Make no mistake, this is a big and a serious decision for you, and you know that. Today, Brendan will swear an oath to defend our great nation against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Think about that for a minute while you remember 9/11 and more recently Boston. Once he swears the oath, Brendan will take his place on the pointy end of our nation's spear. Unlike other countries in the world today, the many freedoms this great nation affords us creates an environment in which dedicated young men and women are able to choose to serve and be proud of it. From my experience, making the choice to serve our country is the main personal driver that keeps you focused in a profession that truly asks a lot of you. I'm sure Brendan, as he looks over the gathering of family, he has reached his understanding. Brendan, I have known your mom since your birth. I have known your dad since you began dating your mom. They're great people and have provided you with a solid family background and prepared you very, very well for this phase of your life. And I know that all gathered here today and the rest of your extended family are proud of you for this selfless act. With all that is happening today, both within and outside the country, we laud your decision to serve. We hope only the very, very best for you. Barbara and I served the watch and can tell you that it can be an experience of and for a lifetime. The next few years are going to be full of change and many challenges as you begin your first tour of duty. The Air Force has plans for you. Pilot training, aircraft or systems upgrade, good luck with the airplane. Survival schools, relocations to attend all the aforementioned, and the never-ending professional military education, simply referred to as PME. Your personal efforts during this initial training period will be closely monitored, and a persona of you as an Air Force officer and future leader will be formed. Throughout your time in the Air Force, your superiors will be rating you. Remember, effectiveness reports show more than just how you did over a given period. They also prove insight in your ability to accept and handle increased responsibility, one of the many, many windows to future leadership potential. Additionally, the Air Force is hardly a democratic society, and you will serve when and where the Air Force needs you, period. However, there's often wiggle room for you to have a say in your career path, and you've probably learned some of that already, even in the early training days. In Air Force schools, those at the top of the training class may be given choices of your assignments. Keep those thoughts in mind as you go about your training. As we have discussed for a few years now, the Air Force will not expect you to accomplish anything they haven't taught you. Nothing. Work hard, and a rewarding career may be waiting for you. On the lighter side, you need to understand a few things. Much of what the Air Force teaches you is not solely for military situations. It works perfectly well in your personal life. But we have example. After all of your Air Force ROTC training, you now know, or should know, that the most used answers while speaking to a senior officer will be, yes sir, no sir. In your personal life, if and when you choose a mate, I can tell you from experience, yes ma'am, no ma'am will serve you the very, very best. Last but not least, remember your career is not about you solely. You'll be changing assignments and relocating often, something you're somewhat used to. Trust me on this, as you move throughout your career, your family will be supporting you 100% all the time. If you get assigned to a place like North Dakota, serve there knowing all are still 100% behind you. If you get assigned to a place like Germany, there's a good chance you'll see lots of support up close and personal. You understand? If you have a choice into your assignments, choose wisely. On the serious side, for those witnessing a military ceremony for the first time, I must explain today that military ceremonies are not designed to be lavish events, but rather simple outward signs that a change has occurred. Today, Brendan, having met the requirements to do so, will officially become a second lieutenant in the United States Air Force by simply swearing an oath of office, not long ago. As you follow Brendan through his career, you will hear the same oath repeated over and over and over again. When Brandon becomes a commander, his change of command ceremony may have a full squadron assemble and witness, with speeches to attest to his ability to accept such a challenge. Still, the simple act of the outgoing commander releasing the unit flag and Brendan accepting it is the outward sign that the unit and all assemble that a change has occurred. A simple exchanging of the flag. You have met the requirements. You have exchanged the flag. You are now in charge. You are the change. How important is the oath of office? The first government action accomplished after our Constitution adopted was the oath of office. Every president since George Washington has taken that oath. Within 3 months of the Constitution, the first official oath of office for the United States military officers under the Constitution was established on 1 June 1789. With minor revisions, it remains basically the same today. Brendan, unless there are questions from your family, it's time to move out and join your classmates for the official swearing in, and for everybody here, so you will understand during your first time in the military situation, please turn off all your cell phones and peep so that we can be quiet during the ceremony. Thank you.